Hello Pack, happy Monday and welcome back to another Assassin's Creed Syndicate Stealth % run. Today we're going to meet with Alexander Graham Bell. Now I know in this episode it means that we've skipped over the gang war in Whitechapel, but the reason there is because there's nothing we can really do to avoid the combat, to avoid detection in that episode. So while I could show that upgrading, that allowing the rooks to take out the gang is very viable, and that you can go ahead and do the entire train combat with only killing the gang leader, it doesn't really lead to a good stealth % run. So unfortunately, the gang wars in this game are not able to be stealth. They can be taken out by the rooks. The rooks can help you and can take out the rest of the gang for you, but they cannot be stealth because you're already put directly into combat. So we're going to go ahead and pick up here with the mission to go see Alexander Graham Bell. Now, earlier you saw Jacob go ahead and pick up a flower at the train station, and now he's picked up a illustration near Alexander Graham Bell's house. We can go ahead and start the mission, which will move us over to Evie's character. So immediately as Evie, we're going to go ahead and jump into the carriage. Now this is separate from how most of the any % runs for Assassin's Creed Syndicate go. Usually we would go do one of the Tim's kidnappings, because there's a target here right outside of Bell's house that you can easily kidnap if you just fire your gun in the air and then catch him as he runs away. But that results in us being seen, results in us being noticed, and so wouldn't work really for a stealth % run. So instead we're gonna go ahead and upgrade our skills and upgrade our weapons here and our gear here as Evie, which we've already done for Jacob. So most of the same skills you see me taking here for Evie, we've already done for Jacob as well. These will just allow us to pick up more items as we go, including being able to unlock any chest or door we come across, and being able to gather more materials from each chest that we open. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm checking the gear again, because see, the cane sword was still selected, and we prefer the kukris. They have slower or a smaller animation for kills, and they tend to do more damage than the cane sword of the same level. So we're gonna go ahead and choose the Aveline outfit here, because Aveline allows us to have extra throwing knives, extra smoke bombs, just really some really nice stuff as far as stealth mechanics go. Her outfit will allow us to keep the stealth mechanics going, throwing knives and such. So fortunately for me, I wasn't seen coming through the bridge here, because normally there are blighter carriages and a few blighters standing on the corner outside Alexander's house. Actually later in this mission we will be seen by some of those blighters on the corner, and we're just going to skip over them because they're not part of the main part of the mission, and we've already proven we can get through there without being seen. It's really luck based on whether or not the blighters are even there at the corner, and I didn't want to have to keep resetting and resetting just for the video, especially after the first attempt got through that corner without being seen. You did see that we crashed into a carriage, which alerted a few blighters on the side of the road, but they didn't notice us. That's why the arrows never turned yellow. We're going to continue up Big Ben until we get to the top so we can get the viewpoint. This will allow for fast travel later in the game and gives us a little bit of extra experience here at the beginning. So all in all, a good thing. Now in order to 100% this mission, once we've gone up onto Big Ben, we can't go below 50 meters, I think it is. And in order to do that, we can't do this leap of faith down. So we have to go ahead and slowly climb ourselves back down Big Ben to the fuse box. So we go ahead and head all the way down, which is a very tedious process, but it's also done in some of these speedruns. Now some speedruns will go ahead and do it at the very end and zipline their way back up, but we go ahead and do it here now so we just don't forget, because there's gonna be so many resets, it's just easier to do it at the beginning. So first fuse box done, go for the second one. This seems like it's gonna be a very simple, very easy mission. No enemies around, nobody to worry about. Until the second half of this mission, after you've repaired the fuse boxes, you're asked by Bell to go into blighter territory and collect some materials. So again, the beginning of this, extremely easy, extremely fast. We will go ahead and actually speed up this section of the mission from here on out, because we are going to fail, we are going to have to reset, and I had forgotten to save my save files, because each time you see the checkpoint icon show up on the right hand side, it does a new save file. And though we are restarting at each save file, not necessarily the beginning of each mission, we restarted each save, so I hadn't grabbed those save files, and we are going to have to reset them. So I forgot there was one more tower here. That's why you saw me looking up at the other tower. I forgot there was one more little steeple thing here that we had to grapple onto. Now we can grapple up onto this tower, and easy enough. Once I get the right anchor point for the grapple, easy enough to get up there and repair the fuse. Now again, for any percent speedrun of Syndicate, you wouldn't stop here. You actually would go ahead and repair this fuse and then jump off the back of the tower, because there's another manhunt that you can do, Templar hunt that you can do over in the Thames from this side of Big Ben. We can go ahead and restart from last checkpoint here. And what that allows us to do is go ahead and get back to Big Ben without dropping below 50 meters. Again, that doesn't matter because you saw the gold checkbox go through saying that we'd already completed that mission or that objective. But we're back here at Big Ben and able to jump down. So I can see here that this is the street side. Unfortunately, I had been holding E, so I almost called her Elise. Evie jumps down. We had to climb back up until we could get over here to the hay barrel, or the hay bale, and then we go over and talk to Alexander Graham Bell. So all we have to do is reach his carriage. You can see the cutscene play. Once we skip over the cutscene, you'll see a checkpoint on the right hand side, the loading icon. There it is. And that means that this is a new save file. We could start from here. I just didn't grab the save file, unfortunately. And so as we ride over to the Blighter Stronghold, I believe we're going to get seen here soon, and I'm going to choose to ignore it because, again, this is just all luck based on whether or not you get seen on this bridge, because there's a group of Blighters here on the right hand side that sometimes show up and sometimes they don't. There they are. There is no yellow on those icons, so I decided to ignore them and keep going. Now for the any percent run, we would stop here on the right where these Blighters are. We again aren't doing the 80%, we're trying to stealth through this. So again, we ignore those guys and go to this section. Now, I was going to go ahead and go over here and hide behind this fence and try to throw a smoke bomb over there. But unfortunately for me, these hooligans decided that they wanted to interrupt everything. And so it took me a second to get over here. We were able to go ahead and get her before she saw us. She did become aware that we were in the area because of the smoke bomb. But again, we didn't get seen, which is good. We go ahead and hide on the other side of these logs because we're going to go ahead and try to get this guy as he comes over to investigate the dead bodies. Unfortunately for us, there is another individual here trying to look at the dead bodies, and as we kill his friend, he notices us. So I went ahead and I skipped ahead to this checkpoint. Again, this is just a checkpoint that we should have been able to have a save file of. We did skip the beginning section. But we're going to go ahead and go down the bridge. Again, I think we're going to end up being noticed by a couple of Blighters here on the bridge. But you noticed the first time we came through, there were no Blighters at all on the bridge. They were at the very end of the bridge. I believe we're going to get seen on the bridge here, and for whatever reason they start to notice us. Nope. Okay. So we're good. Through the bridge, nobody saw us. Nobody even iconed onto us. Again, no Blighters over here like there was last time. We're going to go ahead and get off here. This is again where the any percent run tends to go over this wall on the right. But I noticed that there's a ton of Blighters, more than normal. 3 of them seem to be walking out of the area. So we go ahead and scope them out. They seem to be coming over. We throw a smoke bomb between us and them. The smoke bomb radius isn't wide enough to actually stop them, but it does stop them from seeing us until one of them walks over towards us and gets stunned by the smoke. So we go ahead and kill him and then go over to the wall where again these urchins are just begging for someone to take care of them because they keep interrupting, and we see that there's 2 people coming, and we once again seen by the Blighters because 2 people decided to investigate a dead body instead of 1. So we go ahead and restart again, and because of the restart, we don't have the carriage that's normally here for us. And again, because we're coming back on a save file, there's not always a guarantee that you will have what you would have normally had playing through the mission initially. You do get to keep all of your stuff, you lose all of your experience, you keep the gear that you had at that checkpoint, but you don't always have the environment set up the same way. So again, you saw that little icon, it did get some yellow on it. It was a blighter that was randomly on the bridge and noticed us for no good reason. We actually hadn't been running into almost anything there, and he still noticed us. Again, another one there on the right hand side next to Belle's house. No good reason for him to have noticed us, but he's continuing to notice us. Those on the left are starting to notice us. We're just getting yellow marks all over the place. We don't normally get them, and the main part of this mission is inside of this neighborhood instead of on the streets of the neighborhood. So once again, we decided to ignore those, and we're going to go ahead and try to take to the roof here. I decided that the roof might be the better option. I totally forgot that we had the grapple gun. So instead of using R, which it was prompting me to use, I decided to try to parkour my way and climb up the roof instead. Very unfortunate. So we've got a group here, a group of, it looks like 5 here, which normally there's 3 or 4. So we're going to go ahead and try to smoke out the first one here, and he ends up walking too far away from the other lady. So I didn't want to try to risk that. We're going to go ahead and do knives. Again, knife to the head is required in order to make these kills. If you don't manage to get the knife on the head, then you don't manage to kill them, which is very unfortunate. But for us, fortunate for us, we have a little bit of practice with sniping headshots here. So this lady's going to go investigate. We're going to go ahead and get her right in the head. And her friend, who's following up behind, right in the head. All 3 of them dead. The other 2 are not coming over to investigate yet, but we know that it's very possible that they can. So we're going to keep an eye out for any others, any on the sides coming over. We have him, who's finally noticed that his friends are dead, coming over for the investigation. So we're going to go ahead and go for the grapple, the zipline assassination, which is one of the requirements to 100% this. There it is, zipline assassination, done. Alright, so next up, we're going to go ahead and loot the bodies because I'm not sure how many throwing knives we have left, and we're going to try to grab throwing knives and smoke bombs, because those are the 2 things that are very necessary in order to make it through unseen. We're going to go ahead and loot this chest. There's an extra chest that isn't marked that we're going to go ahead and loot, and then we're going to get back onto the roofs so that we can't be seen. There's another group of guys right over here that if you walk past them, they won't aggro, they won't turn red immediately, but they will start to notice you, they will turn yellow, and obviously that's no bueno for us. So onto the roofs we go. Go ahead and zipline over to the other roof. We can see the data helix here, so we're going to go ahead and grab it if we can. Of course, it takes me a few seconds to remember exactly how to get this one, but eventually it's just a jump down and then jump back up. Easy enough. Go on to the other roof. We know that there's a guard here on this roof, so we gotta be a little more careful. Climb onto the chimney. I got stuck a little bit there on the base of the chimney. We're gonna jump onto this one instead so that we're a little bit further away from that guard. Come down here and check out what we've got, what we're working with here. And I think I forgot that guard existed until this moment. So I knew she was there, that's why we jumped off of the roof. And then I just completely blanked on the fact that she existed. So we're going to go ahead and get the zipline assassination here, because this is the one that for any percent you typically want to get the zipline assassination on this guard. It's just really easy, right in line with everything else you're doing, and puts you in a good spot to smoke bomb down there and get those 2. Unfortunately, because we're trying to make sure that we aren't going to get seen, we need to take out the other 2, which is not normal to an any percent run. But we'll go ahead and smoke bomb the chest, which has 2 guards in front of it, and then we'll just come up and assassinate both guards. Easy enough. No guards left to see us. We'll loot this chest, and for one final time, we'll go ahead and zipline up, which was not intentional. I meant to start running, and I accidentally hit R instead of E. E to use items, and for whatever reason, I guess I had thought that I needed to pick something up, but instead I decided to grapple. It's a great idea. We don't have enough money to buy any other upgrades, so we go ahead and grab the smoke bomb upgrade, and then I guess again I wanted to grapple just to stay off the ground, just in case there was a group here on the streets next to Belle's house. Yeah, because usually there's a group or 1 or 2 men hassling a civilian on the right-hand side here that will aggro onto you if you walk past them. So just wanted to make sure that didn't happen. Go into Belle's house and end the mission. So mission ends with Belle informing us that he was able to duplicate the grappling hook for our brother Jacob, and that the wire is now working. And with that, we have a 100% on the freedom of the press. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you made it this far, feel free to like and subscribe on this video, and go ahead and leave a comment telling me if you've ever managed to get through this mission without guards showing up on the bridge. It's very annoying when you're trying to stay out of sight and out of mind. Until next time, guys, thank you and stay stealthy.